Boatworks today is sponsored by Total Boat and Alexseal Yacht Coatings, as well as supported by the generosity from the beautiful folks over on Patreon. Thank you so much. So, welcome back everybody. I hope you're all having a great weekend. My name is Andy with Boatworks today. In this video, we're working on the side coverings on this Bertram, and specifically I'm focusing on where the fuel fill is going to be coming down the side and eventually connecting on the tank. Now, at the end of this video, I am looking for some feedback. I've got a couple questions I want everybody's opinion on, so stick around to the end, and I hope you enjoy. I cannot believe I just did this. Tired? Had a little bit of a brain fart. So normally what I'd like to have is this woven side facing up. Well, as you can see, that's not the case. It's the matte side. And where I screwed up was that when I was tracing these out, I had the actual Cusa panels upside down, or not the right side up. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It's fine. I mean, these are. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's perfectly fine. But it's just not the way that I want it. But oh well. I'm not going to cut new pieces of glass and waste this. So onward we go. right, so this, so this is what I've been working on here. This area in particular, this is on the port side. This is where the deck fill is going to be coming for fuel. So there's a deck fitting up here. I have this here just like, well, I'll get to that here in a second. But then the hose is going to come down, go through the floor, and then eventually come into the tank, right beneath me here. Now, when I first looked at this, again, I'm not sure who cut this opening, if that's something that was done originally from the factory or if the previous owner before me had done this. But it just, when I was first looking at it, I'm like, that opening is just huge. There's no way it needs to be that big. Well, evidently it does need to be that big because fuel line, again, being, getting into the mechanical side of things, this isn't something that I have a whole lot of experience with. I typically avoid mechanical work for a reason. But this fuel line, this is a 1.5 inch ID, and then on the outside diameter, it's just shy of 2 inches, but it's stiff. And in order to make this bend, it kind of has to be, this opening needs to be this big. I mean, I might be able to, close it up a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch or so maximum, but it really needs to be this big. Now, the way that I'm kind of putting this together is that these knees are going to slip right into here. And because this hose is coming down, this opening is so large, basically you need to have a separate cover for this column. There's no way that this line or this hose would be able to fit between or behind these small little knees that I put in earlier, because when these side coverings are on, basically they're going to come down onto the top of here. So I had to create some other knees that kind of kicked it out, again, to create a bit of a cover. Now, the problem is, or at least the thing that I'm trying to figure out now, is that the way that this opening was cut, there's nothing to keep water, when it's raining or whatever, and there's nothing to keep the water from just pooling in here, and then it's going to get trapped inside the stringer here, down beneath the deck. And that's no bueno. That's not good. So I need to figure out a way to kind of seal this off so that water can't get in there. Now, the covers themselves, these knees and then the cover that's going to be going on the face, that's not going to be watertight. I mean, it'll be watertight for spray, but it's not going to be watertight along the deck. And I want this front face to be removable so that I can, access for inspections and what have you. So I'm looking at basically a couple of different options. And if there's somebody here, if you have a different idea, please let me know, because really the two options that I'm going to talk about here are really the only two that I can come up with. But ideally, what I'd like to do is to get like a 2.5 inch or 3 inch PVC 90-degree elbow. Not one of those hard ones, or like a hard 90, but one of those longer sweeping 90-degree elbows. And glass that in place so that all of this will be closed up, except you just see a nice little PVC stub basically coming up that the pipe or the hose would be able to kind of thread up through and then up to the deck fitting. The thing is, I don't know if that's ABYC compliant. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, all it would be is just a sleeve, for the hose to run into. But I don't know for sure if that's considered, correct or not. So I got to look into that. I'd have the ABYC information. I haven't had a chance to look at that. Now, the other option, which would be probably a lot easier, but would be essentially to create a U-shaped channel along the bottom here that these side knees would then, mount against and extend across here and whatever. So it'd be like a little 1/2 inch, basically U-shaped all the way around this opening. It acting somewhat as like a bit of a dam for water that kind of run up against it. It would kind of have to be forced around and then leak out. But I don't know. Like I said, my ideal choice would be to have a PVC pipe glassed in here that looks nice. It would protect the hose, from abrasion and that kind of thing. And I think they would look very, very clean. But again, I don't know if that's considered correct or not. And then over on the starboard side, I've got a very similar thing going on. Now, I don't necessarily need to have it there, but for the sake of having both the port and the starboard side symmetrical, I wanted to have a box over there as well. Now, I guess what I'm thinking would probably be a natural spot for this, or a natural thing to put in here, would be the shore power plug, you know, for charging your batteries when you're at dock. And then as far as running the wires from there, you know, they'd be able to come down. Then in this locker, I guess right now I'm really leaning towards having this kind of the storage for, say, like the battery banks, the charging system, as well as the inverter. But not 100%, but I'm about 90% sure that's kind of where all that business is going to be happening. But getting back to the port side here with this fuel fill, if you have any better ideas on how to manage this, again, or if you know for certain that like a PVC sleeve would be, I guess, legal, let me know. Or again, if you have any other ideas, I'd love to hear them. But again, those were the only two kind of viable options that I really was able to come up with. I really like the PVC option. The other one just seems kind of like cutting corners, I guess, and just not something I'm real fired up about. The only downside I can see to using a PVC elbow would be having to fish this hose through that elbow, because I have no access other than through this little doohickey right here, which comes up and stubs in through here. So trying to fish that thing through the elbow, trying to fish this hose through the elbow, I see I might be having to buy a bottle of Vaseline or some KY in my future if that's the direction I go. But actually, you know, that's not a bad idea. That just might work. You know, the outside of this hose is just under 2 inches. If I got, say, 2.5, maybe 3 inch, it'd give me a little bit of slop, but it might be a little pinch trying to work it up there. But anyways, that's the least of the problems. I think that's something that's absolutely manageable. Now, before I wrap things up, I want to get your guys' opinion on one more thing, and that's completely unrelated to what I was just talking about. But it's over on these hatch lids that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. I was always intending to have these hinged, but these are the hinges that I'm thinking about going with, and I think they look all right. What do you think? I mean, I definitely wanted to go with stainless. I don't want to have any brass anything on this boat. I want everything to be nice, clean, brand new stainless. And I think, yeah, as far as the shape, and they're certainly strong enough, I think they look pretty nice. I was going between this one and the kind that has kind of like a rounded, like a half moon top and bottom, but well, just mainly because there really aren't any hard angles anywhere on this boat. Everything always has a nice little sweeping curve to it. So that's why I was maybe on the fence with going around with those round-eared ones. But I don't know. I think these ones look pretty nice. Right now, I've got a little bit of homework to do. All right, so with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. Now, I realize that this is a little bit different of a type of video than what I normally do, but sometimes, well, that's just how the week goes. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. If you have any questions, comments, well, I got really dark. Please leave those down below. And as always, thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.